What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and welcome to my episode 14 recap for Empire. Remember to subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and also continue to support me on Patreon and PayPal. The links is in the description below. Now, when we first check in, we see Lucius, and he's bringing breakfast in bed to Cookie because she's in the bed playing like she's sick. And so, right after he gives her the food, he walks off, and we see Cosby Jr. walk in, and he's all smiles, and he's telling Lucius, "Hey, boss, ready to roll?" He said, "Yeah, give me a second." So as he walks off, Cookie has him come over, and she say, "You found the information on, Pound Cake daughter?" He like, "Yeah," and he give her the name and where she at, and she say, "Make sure you got it straight." He said, "Hey, you double checking my skills?" And right when he was walking away, Lucius came. "What you doing about my wife?" He like, "Oh, my bad, boss." He like, "Hey, I was just looking for the bathroom. My bad." Then he smacks himself with the gloves to kind of check himself, self-check. And he like, "Hey, man, let's go ahead. Don't tell Cookie nothing about what's going on with Eddie." And he said, "Don't worry, boss. I got you." Meanwhile, we see Eddie, and he then has a little paperwork, and he slides in front of Eddie, and he say, "Here's your separation papers. Make sure you sign that. It's got a little, compensation for you, and you leave and get out of here." And Eddie smile. He like, I don't see what's so funny." He like, "Oh, I'm not signing these. It's not over." He like, "Is that right?" He like, "Oh yeah, it's not gonna be that easy to get rid of me. I'm doing good. I got everybody, performing, and I'm gonna see you later." He like, "Is that right?" He like, "Yeah. You all take care." And so Lucius feel a little salty that Eddie didn't sign the papers and, walked away. So he calls together Jamal and Hakeem. He say, "Eddie's an infidel in our kingdom." And he like, "Come on, that's Uncle Eddie, Pop." And, Hakeem like, "Nah, he turned Tiana against me too. That's why she ain't married me." He like, "Either way it go, we got to find a way to get rid of him." And so then we see Cookie, and she's following up on the info she got from Thirsty to find Pound Cake's daughter, Baby Cakes. And so we see they at a dance recital, and so she's looking and she don't see her. So she was getting ready to leave when all of a sudden the only black girl there starts dancing, and so she started looking like, "Oh, okay, let me see what you got." And so she then has a flashback to when she was back in jail again. Then she sees that some people had their kids come see him and everything, and then her sister was there, and she was talking to her and asking her how she going and doing, and she like, "Yeah, I'm making it, I'm doing it." She like, "Oh, that's good. Your mama been asking about you." She like, "What?" And she like, "What? I don't have nothing to say to her." She like, "Well, that's your mom." They like, "You." She like, "You shouldn't be talking to her no more." He like, "Why you talking to her still? I don't have nothing to say to her." And they like, "Well, look, she's your mom. She want to connect with you, and she's here." And then next thing you know, she walk on in, and it's Alfred Woodard. And so she sees her, and she gets up with the quickness and tries to walk out the door. And so then Cookie flash back right back into the moment again. And so she walks in to go talk to her. Her name Maya. So she like, "Hey, I saw you dancing. You was doing great. You was the best one." And she looking like, "Who this lady?" And then she pull out the card and like, "Oh, I'm Cookie Lion from Empire." She like, "Oh yeah, you managed Tiana. I know you." She like, "Yeah, Tiana among other people. How you doing?" She like, "Oh man, I'm good. What you doing here?" She like, and she was about to tell her about her mama, but she said, "I'm looking for dancers, and I want you to come dance for me and check it out for her new video." So she was all geeked up. Cookie like, "All right, I see you there." And so she leave. Meanwhile, we see back at the Leviticus, Thirsty told the boys that Eddie had something going down. So then Thirsty go talk to him like, "Why wasn't Mr. Lion notified or whatever this is?" He like, "Hold on." He like, he too busy on the phone. He like, "Tiana's here." Tiana walk out, and they got a big surprise, and they like, "Surprise." She come out, and then we got, of course, Becky doing the heavy lifting, and she like, then Hakeem Salter. They like, "Yeah, Tiana, you number one on the pop and the R&B right now." She like, "What?" They like, "You the first ever Empire artist right now to do that. Something that the Lion Boys ain't even did. No disrespect." And so then he like, "Also Tori Ash, you number one too." And so everybody's all smiles, and then Hakeem like, "Yeah, nah, Lion Boys not yet." And then Eddie smile. He like, "Her, I like that." Then anyway, Tiana, we just want to give you a celebration and congrats on all the success. And so everybody's all smiles. You got the board members, Roseanne and old boy Mr. Drummond smiling. And so Tiana, she started dancing, doing a little show for everybody, singing a song or whatever. And then we see Roseanne walk up to Lucius like, man, Eddie's doing great. I think I'm gonna float the idea for him to stay. And so now Lucius knows time is critical. So now they back at the office. He talking to his boys. He like, look, this is the list of the 20 for 20 songs. And Eddie has got the top 3 songs already done, and they doing great. What are y'all? He like, I got mine ready. I'm ready to roll. And Jamal like, well, I got mine, but I want to do some different stuff. He like, man, what are you talking about? He like, remember you benched me. He like, well, you off the bench. He like, well, I got my song, but it's not the same. He like, man, I need the same flavor. He like, man, we need to get something going. Meanwhile, we see Andre, he walking with the Pastor Cavassier. And so he talking about how he trying to, atone for what he did, but his dad didn't accept it. He say, hey, man, the only father that's perfect above is the one upstairs. At least you keep trying. And so then we see Jamal, and he all upset, all in his feelings, talking to Tori. And he like, let's start a collective. And then Tori like, he like, let's look, this dude right here, he's a raw and talented artist. He probably got his eye on something else too. And he like, yeah, we get guys like this together, we could start our own thing separate from Empire. She like, cool. Meanwhile, we see the new Slim Shady walking with Hakeem, and he into like this grungy basement. He like, man, this right here, picture this is in the 90s, and we have like a little fly basement party. We can make it work. He like, I don't know. Then Andre come in, hey man, it do sound like a good idea. And so he like, man, what's up? What you got going on here? He like, hey man, look, I'm just here to help. We can make this, I can make you on the Empire Extreme, get you #1, and you be able to knock Tiana after #1 spot. They dap, show love, it's on. Then we see Eddie with Roseanne at the club, and he getting ready to like have a dinner with her. But then next thing you know, his wife is there, and so he like, what the hell? What you doing here? He like, I must be a scheduling conflict. And so they kind of talk it over, and she about to agree to leave. Nice to meet you or whatever to Roseanne. And so right when she was leaving, here comes Celeste, his second ex-wife, show up, and she starts snapping. What you doing here? This must be about what you got this witch here for, and what is she doing here? And you done lost all our money. You need to talk to me about that. So she pissed. Eddie like, I don't know what's going on, white here, but and she like, and why is this tramp here? And so now they getting ready to snap, and then they like, and I know she ain't about to be it. And she like, I don't think so, Eddie. And then his first wife come on, and then she like, what is both of these skeezers doing here? And unless you here to talk about why you lost all our money, you need to get something clear. And what is she doing here? They like, yeah, clearly she doesn't belong here. She like, oh, me and Eddie, we're not a thing. Are we, Eddie? Unless, and then she start looking like she paranoid because she know she out of her league. And so then she like, Eddie, I'll see you later. And so she leaves, and then we see this lady come bring the champagne. She like compliment to the boss. He like, the boss. And he look, and there's Lucius with the champagne flute, giving him the salute, like, gotcha. He like, okay, it's on. And so then we see Eddie, and he's talking to his wife, and he's telling Nicole Ari Parker, hey, we gotta find a way to get him. She's like, how you gonna steal the company now that he watching? It was hard enough when he wasn't watching. He like, well, I'm gonna create a new ally. And so then they show Shine in there in the dining room. And so she like, well, go ahead and handle your business. And so he walks in the dining room. He trying to see what he got going on with Shine. He telling him about his plans, and he's saying, hey, you want to be #1, work with me. Lucius ain't never had his eye on nobody but #1 for himself. He like, so my 25% ain't got nothing to do with it. He like, hey man, look, you come, I'm gonna take over, then you side with me, I'll make sure you #1 where you belong. Meanwhile, we see on the other side of town at this tattoo shop, Tori and Jamal, and they coming to talk to old boy that he was looking on the video that was a raw rapper that he liked. And old boy like, look, time is money. Unless one of y'all getting a tat, I ain't got time to talk. And so then they start talking, and he like, hey man, look, why don't you join the collective? He like, look, I ain't got time to be with no hip-hop royalty. and Tori is sitting there getting a new tramp stamp while they sitting there and politicking. Meanwhile, downtown at Empire, we see Maya, aka Baby Cakes, dancing, and we see Cookie. She liking what she sees. She working and trying to do her best. And then walks in Tiana, and she eyeing what's going on. And the first thing she do is like cut the music. And then Maya, she want to run over there and shake her hand or whatever, like, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan. And she just like brush her off, ignore her, like, who is this? Is this the new choreographer? She's like a kid. Where are you from? She like, I'm from NYU. She like, say the best you could do for me, and I'm number one, is get some amateur. Eddie is done, and then that's when Cookie had enough. Cut her off, like, hold your tongue. She like, look, you did good. Give me a second. Let me talk for a second. And so Cookie goes over there to talk to Tiana, and so she like, look, I know you number one and everything, and Eddie has got you feeling all good and all that, and she's smiling like, she like, but don't you ever come over here and interrupt what I got going on over here. Eddie ain't the CEO, and yeah, you may be a star and everything, but don't forget I'll snatch you up right quick, and don't forget who helped make you a star and who would take that star away. Nah, you need to never walk in here. There's only one room for one queen, bitch. I'm that bitch. And so then Cookie goes to go get Maya, and she walking away. I'm stupid. I should have known better. And she like, look, hold on. I want you to get this shot. You deserve it. It'll make your mother proud. She like, well, my mother is proud. She like, no, not your she talking about your real mother. She like, wait a minute. What do you mean my real mother? And Cookie like, yeah, your real mom. She like, how did you know I was adopted? She like, because I know your real mom. We was locked up together, and she wants to meet you. She like, as far as I'm concerned, she's dead, and I don't need to meet her. My real mom is proud of me already. And so she walks out, and not Cookie. That was a hell of a way to do it, Cookie. And so she has a flashback. Remember when the last time she saw her mother, and so her mother, she come back to sit down with her, and so her mother like, how you doing here? She like, don't be talking to me like you care. She like, I do care. She like, yeah, you didn't care when you left and ran off with some other man and left your 3 daughters behind, and she was about to get away and walk off, but she like, Laretha, sit your narrow ass down. And so that made her stop, but she was in her truck. Meanwhile, back at the studio, we see Sean and then Eddie come in. Where's that white boy you was talking about? Next thing you know, it's a light boy that walked through, Lucius, and he like, hey man, look, it's just like my Hillary vote. I'm voting for the devil that I know best. And so he like, yeah, you know she lost, don't you? And so then, Lucius say, well, look like you got something in common. He like, oh man, it ain't over. What are you talking about? That right there, that was his self-interest. He like, oh yeah, well, he know a little something about loyalty. He like, ain't no loyalty, you're toxic. And you even made Cookie almost die. It ain't over, it's just getting started. He like, it's dangerous pushing me, Eddie. He like, yeah, I know, I'm the one that taught you. So he walks off. Meanwhile, at Hakeem's basement release party, we see Andre, and he talking to the camera crew. He like, come on, there goes Hakeem, and he like, what's up, this Hakeem, follow me. And so then they following him, and then they see everybody talking or whatever, and they talking about how the old boy ain't paid the people for the place. He like, I'll take care of it. And then here comes Jamal running late. He like, yo, what's up, man? Sorry I'm late. You know I wasn't gonna miss it. And then the producer say, hey, can we get a shot of the 3 brothers together? So then they all stand together. Andre say, hey man, when you get a chance, can I talk to you? And then Jamal say, not a chance, under his breath. And then he walks straight off, and Andre sitting there looking a little salty because he want to talk to him. Meanwhile, Jamal like, hey, welcome to my brother's new album, first off of 20 for 20. Hakeem rock the party, and then he's out there rapping or whatever. Everybody start bobbing to it. Even Becky, she looking like a Halloween marshmallow over there. She bouncing to it. Then we see Tiana and her friends come on in, and they vibing or whatever. They walk right past Becky, and she's salty, even though she looking like a Halloween flavored marshmallow. She was mad. She start getting the little evil eyes and shit when they walk past her, and they ain't say nothing. And then so Tiana and her crew there, they like, what is this? I thought this was a party. And they like, anyway, this right here, this is my people are here, and so we gonna have fun. And so Hakeem, he danced, and he pulled out his hand when he saw her for her to come on stage. She kind of smiled, but she jumped her butt up on stage and dancing with him and everything. He's still rapping. And then we see Slim Shady. He see was his chance. He counting down, and while Hakeem rapping, he jump on stage, start flowing and rapping or whatever. And so then Hakeem, he all preoccupied with Tiana, so he start just bumping and grinding. Meanwhile, once they finish with the show, he in the backstage talking with her. He like, I'm glad you came, and she's smiling. He like, she like, how you know I was gonna get on stage with you? And so he like, man, I just knew you would. And then he start kissing on her, whatever. They start getting all hot and bothered in the mood. He going down low for a little, taste test, little sample. He's pulling off them black drizzles off, and so then they start, getting on there, grabbing them cakes, and next thing you know, it's one thing leads to another, and they doing the thing in the back room. Meanwhile, the music's still bumping. We got Becky and her friend looking like Cheryl Underwood dancing with this white boy in the middle, and they looking like a double stuffed Oreo. And so next thing you know, you see Jamal come up, and he asking, hey, you seen where Tori Ash is? She like, I don't know, I think she over there in the back. And so he going around looking for her, and then he see old boy at the bar, and he stop. He like, oh, hey, what's up? I guess the music ain't too bad. From a privileged hip hop royalty, like, oh man, we just coming to check it out. I listen to your music, and it ain't too bad. Maybe we can make something happen. He like, all right, cool, man, have a good time. And so meanwhile, we see Tori, and she getting little, pills from the dope man behind the gate, popping it real quick, and bottoms up. And then Jamal see it, and he like, yo, what's up? She like, oh man, nothing. I'm just trying to take the edge off. He like, take the edge off? What are you doing? She like, Eddie gave me something the other day just to make me feel good. I'm fine. He like, Eddie? She like, yeah, I'm good. He like, oh man. So now he tripping because he's starting to see Eddie really is on one. Meanwhile, in the back, we see Hakeem. He's still all getting smooched up with Tiana, and she looking damn good too. I don't blame him. And so then she getting ready to leave, putting her clothes on. He talking about how he love her and how he happy, and he ain't gonna let Eddie take her, brainwash her or whatever, control her like a puppet. She like, what? Ain't nobody controlling me like a puppet. Eddie said you wouldn't be happy unless I was right up under you. I'm out of here. This was a mistake. He like, what? This ain't a mistake. Hold on. And she was out. And so meanwhile, back at the Empire offices, we see Cookie, and she coming out the elevator. And so Thirsty saying, hey, you back working late, huh? And she like, yeah, you better keep your mouth shut before you tell Lucius anything, or I cut your balls off. He like, dang, it's all good. You ain't got to threaten my man parts. You and Lucius something else with him wanting Eddie killed, and you trying to find the baby cakes. And she like, what? He want Eddie killed. He like, oh man. And so he knew he done bucked up. And so he trying to hold his mouth. She like, really? And so she go back home, and sure enough, Lucius is in there. She like, oh, so I thought that part of us being a team was, I guess it was some bull. He like, well, you the one lying about where you been, and he loading up the clip. And she like, see, what's this with you trying to kill Eddie? Why don't we try to get him out and talk to him other ways? What's going on? Why you ain't tell me? She like, don't say it's because of that heart attack crap. He like, nah, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying we need to get rid of him. And she like, so you ain't telling me because why? You blame me for bringing him in? He like, nah, all this stuff that's happening with Andre and, Eddie and everybody, this is my fault. And she like, well, give me the stuff, give me the gun, we gonna have this a different way. He like, how? I've been trying to find what we gonna do. She like, well, I'm gonna try. And so then next thing you know, instantly they done had Eddie in there, and they done found some dirt on him. She like, have a seat. And so he ain't want to sit at first, but she like, have a seat. So he sat his big waterhead ass down. And so then she like, so Eddie, Lucius wanted to handle things differently, but I remembered y'all was like brothers. And so I reminded him, and so here, maybe we can find another way to settle this. And so she comes and shows him this little book, and she like, we knew what you was doing with Tori and Tiana, and this lady here, she was a promising young starlet until you pumped her up full of drugs and left her hung out to dry. He like, this was supposed to be sealed. She like, oh yeah, well, I guess we unsealed it. She gave him the contract, here, sign this. And then she stared him down while she gave him the paper. And so he like, well, like I always said, can't say no to Cookie. And so then he was getting ready to sign it, and he took the pen, signed it. He got up with the quickness, hey, where's my coat? Meanwhile, we see at the prison, Cookie's there to go see Pound Cake. Pound Cake laying in the bed, so she come on in. But before she do, she start to have a flashback, and so she remember when she was talking to her mama there, and her mama was asking her how she doing and how is it making, and she like, look, don't try to pretend like you care. And she like, I do care. She like, if you care, then how you leave your 3 daughters behind for some man? You ain't even got no ring. He didn't marry you anyway. And she like, uh-huh. And so she like, so how's your man doing? She like, don't you try to ask about my husband. And she like, your husband? Your sister said he served you divorce papers. So how he your husband? And she slammed my hand down. Don't you be trying to question what I got going on. Like you care. She like, I do care. I am trying. She like, no, you ain't try hard enough. And you trying to compare yourself to me. We ain't nothing alike. And she like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't leave my kids locked up, leave them behind. You need to try to say whatever you can to get out of here. Try to cut a deal, whatever. And then Cookie snapped on her and left up out of there. And so Cookie, she remembered all that. So she walk in knowing how hard it is not to see your kids. And Pound Cake looking spoiled, like, you know what I'm saying, 2-month-old bread. And she like, how's it going? And she like, did you find her? And she like, no, I ain't find her. And so she crying, she all sad. She like, well, here, why don't you write down a letter here and tell her how you feel? She like, I ain't good at that. She like, I'll help you. And she pull out the pen. Like, so what you want to say? And so then she starts saying, I don't know, just tell her. And then they cut to what they were going to the next scene, which is Eddie. He talking to somebody saying, hey, we both know the lions are no good and are toxic. And then all of a sudden it's Anika, and he's talking to her, and she like, look, let's cut to the chase. I'm not trying to be Mrs. Barker number 4. We both know what you want. You want to help get the lions out the company, and you need my 25% to do it. So let's talk strategy, and when it's all said and done, I'm going to be the CEO. He's like, all right. And so then they like kind of cut to the end of the episode. It's pretty interesting how they're going to try to join forces to steal the company. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.